just now we've got to prepare for our Seamless1 hair installations. We've got here the Seamless1 tray, so you can easily pick up the hair and apply without the help of an apprentice if you don't have the option. Okay, so obviously where to place the extension is the key factor. So after you've consulted with your client, if they have layered hair, they want to add some thickness, they want to add some volume, or if they want to add length and thickness, so you would have consulted with your clients. So I'm going to show you a couple of different methods. So if we are doing concave and we just want to add some length around the front of the hair, this is where I would place the one packet. So if we're doing the hair with one packet, I start with the first piece and we put it around here. So Stacey gonna pass me one, and then I'm gonna show you we can place the first one around here. So this is if we're doing concave, our first piece here, and then we'll put one right in this position and one in this position, and on a slight angle down. If we're doing concave, we want the hair to flow down. And then our last section will be around here, and then we do one here and one behind it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces all pointing down. Obviously if the client have a bob, then she will have a lot more length around the front. However, now I wanted to show you how we apply the tape hair extensions on the hair. So obviously if we're doing the hair with one packet, we put one piece sort of around 2 fingers from the neckline, 1, 2, and then we do the second. This is the highest we go normally, like around here, and then we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 6 sandwiches, 2 pieces together, and we're gonna do 2 and 2 on every side. If we're doing it with 2 packets or 3 packets or more, then we'll do the first 3 pieces, then we'll do 4 pieces, and then we'll do 6 pieces around there, and we could do 3 and 3 on each side. Obviously we can add more, and we can always come back and fill up around these areas here. If your client have really short hair, we can always add more higher to the fringe, or you can consult with them which side they part the hair. If they do it right or left, then you can add more on one side than the other. So we want to get started. What I want to show you now is how to apply one packet and do full head of hair with one packet, which is 20 pieces that make 10 sandwiches. Really important when you're doing hair extension to be nice and relaxed, because there's nothing really is permanent. You're not putting anything that's going to be like tattoo, or you're causing any damage whatsoever. So the important factor is that you can section really nice and clean section. Extensions are 0 damage. Tape hair extension cause 0 damage as long as you section the hair correctly. So I'm going to show you there are a few different ways. Most people, they start trying to find the perfect section, and they keep trying and trying and trying to get the perfect section. It's not the way how I like to work. I like to work with a metal comb. I like to work with 2 types of clips. One is a crocodile clips, and the second one is a small fine clips, and I'm going to show you the roll for each clip. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a general section. As you can see, I'm not making too much fuss about the line. I put the hair away with my crocodile clips, so it's secure away. And now I can make my smaller perfect section, and because I'm dealing with a lot less hair, I can use the smaller clips, as you can see, and then I can start my work nice and clean. So there are 3 different types of clients, 3 different types of hair. And what makes them 3 different types is easy, medium and hard. What makes it easy, medium and hard is the amount of a new hair, breakage or flyaway that the client have on their roots. So our model today, our lovely model, she's on the medium side. So she doesn't have lots of new growth or lots of new hair, but she does have a few. So we're gonna work with that. So obviously, ideally is to prepare the hair with clarifying shampoo, clean hair, dry and we don't put conditioner on the roots. We wanted to keep the roots without any conditioner. If you need to blow dry or iron, try to stay away from the roots, so you don't need to iron the roots and then because we want that hair to be porous. As you can see, if we're doing one packet, we want to work about 2 fingers away from the neckline, 2 fingers from the side, 2 fingers over the ears, 2 fingers from the front. The fringe and the halo area are no-go zone. We do not put any extensions in those areas. So it's simple, 2 fingers on the side, over the ears, the front, fringe and the halo. We don't put extensions in 90% of the cases. However, if your client have a bob, or if your client have really short hair, or they want that long Victoria's Secret models look or Charlie's Angel look, then we will go much further in, but we must tell them in advance that they cannot put their hair up in ponytails without seeing the tape. So something gotta give. If your client have really short hair and she wanna go long, then we can go up higher, we can go much higher on the fringe, but that means they can't put their hair up, or they meant to tease their hair a little bit to cover the tape. But in this case, this is our first line, we're going to put the hair, this is the second line, and then we're going to do the front. So the area where you put the extension becomes simple. If you do like imagine a circle all around that way. So this is the area where we will put our tape to give the hair nice and long. So with Stacey here today, we're only making her hair thicker with the extension, and we're adding a little bit of lighter ombre for her hair, or lighter color. So that's what we're doing today. So we want to get started. This is how we want to grab the hair. When we peel the tape, I'm going to show you one where I peel it personally. So we grab the tape and then we peel the cover. As you can see, at no time your fingers should touch the tape at all, because you don't want to put oils on the tape. This is ideally how I would like to hold the tape. Not too far, because you have no control, but also not too close, because you have no room to maneuver. Also, I'll invite you for both of your hands to work together. As you can see, we can rotate the tape. I'm working nice and calm. There's no tension, no pressure. The phone ring, I'll put the tape back on the table and I'll go and answer the phone. So there's no rush when you're doing the extensions. And also one more thing I'd like you to practice. Eventually, if you can try to do it my way, and with time you can develop your own technique and your own style. I can do a full head of extension. I can put the full packets in the hair in less than 7 minutes. So in order to be able to achieve this time, you must be able to follow exactly how I'm showing you, and you'll be able to develop your own style later. So as you can see, we want to practice. Before you start doing your client, I would like you to practice how to rotate the tape in your hand. And also we want to always hold the comb in our hand. So because you're going to see later how we can use the comb at the same time as we doing the extensions, and we get full use of both of our hands and our fingers. So it's really important to understand the relationship between your hands and fingers and how they're going to help each other, because we're going to work, your hand's going to work as a team and to help you do a proper application. So you can hold the tape like this, or you can hold it like this with your hand, or you can move it aside and hold it like this. So this way your fingers are out of the way of the application. So like I said before, we have a unique method of application. So I'm gonna hold the tape, we're gonna expose our model's hair. So it's really important that we have that super clean section. So, and as you can see, I'm using this finger to hold the hair, not this thumb, because if I hold my thumb there, I've got no use of my hand. So basically, when I hold the hair with this finger, the small finger, then I've got full use of my hand. You see how my hands, I can still help me, But if I do it like that, then I cannot use my fingers, become really difficult. So this is really important. So I'm gonna go through the key points with you. So I'm holding the hair very gently like that. We've got that really super clean section. My hand here, as you can see my finger, I'll release it out a little bit so I can rest my finger on my client's head. So as you can see, precision and control. So I start parallel to the line up the top and I start moving slowly about 2 to 3 mils from the scalp. Now I let go with my top hand and I make very gentle contact as if you're touching your eyeball, really. As you can see, very little contact, and I elevate the tape. As you can see how the tape picked up whatever the amount of hair needed. Before I use my comb, I'll scoop this hair with my fingers, and as you can see, I'm massaging the hair, make sure I've grabbed all the hair between my fingers. I lift. Now my comb is so important, the angle of my comb needs to come from over the ears, like that sort of angle. This is the bottom of the tape, we don't work there. The top, we don't work there, because here I'm not efficient, here I'm working in the dark. This is where we start from the beginning of the tape, and we want to do it with one single movement. We want to move the hair, and as you can see, my fingers are working. This is a key point here, that your fingers are working close to the tape. If you hold it up here, a lot of that hair is going to start falling back down and cause a problem. So as you can see, I'm holding very gently, I'm not pulling. You see, you don't want to pull your client's scalp. So I'm not pulling, but my fingers are nice and firm over the tape. So as you can see, I remove whatever hair is not connected. And when you look on the tape, you see all the perfect amount of tape on the hair. If you feel you need some more hair on one side, you can put it down and then pick up a little bit more and then scoop them again and clean up that section again. If you feel you have to replay this video at that point to keep watching to get it right. Once you get that right, the rest is really easy. We always go in a straight line. So now you see I'm not pulling, and you can bubble the tape a little bit so you can see if there's any hair that shouldn't be there. So I've got that clean environment, and as you can see, we want to make that ombre effect for our model here. So what we're doing, we're putting the blonder color on top and we're putting the darker color underneath. I'm going to show you why. So as you can see, the comb is in my hand. Again, I hold the tape like that, or I can hold it like this. And as you can see, I rest my hand on a model's head, so I'm not shaking or moving, so stable. You see how I position it really nicely under the top one, and very slowly I lower the top one down. And then before I move, as you can see, I'm very still and very stable, not moving at all. Now with my finger, I'm gonna press in the middle, like pointing right down in the middle, move my hand away, and now I'm gonna check it's looking good. I grab my client's head. As you can see, I'm putting my fingers around her head, and then I'm gonna massage firmly into the scalp, like as if someone giving you a deep tissue massage, really nice and firm. We're gonna press it in. So no shampoo, no conditioner gonna go in between. So now time to check if we did a good job. As you can see, the tape moves up and down. There's no pressure on the scalp, and also all the tape aligned nicely. So this is how you check if you did a good job. This is one piece done. It takes literally about 10, not even 20 seconds to do one sandwich. So to do the whole head, it doesn't take long at all. Now, when we start with the back, we can either do 3 pieces or we do 2 pieces. As you know, our heads are different. You got big head, small head, thick head. As you can see here, we did the darker color underneath. So when our client gonna lift her hair, you're not gonna see the tape. You see how it's all blend nicely with her hair? So when the client put her hair up, we put the darker color underneath to achieve that ombre, beautiful ombre or balayage effect. You see, when we put the hair down, you can see it's lighter on top and then darker underneath. Now, I'm going to show you what would have happened if we put the darker one on top. Look at that different effect altogether. So at the beginning, the bottom row and over the ears, we're going to put the darker piece under. As we get higher on top, then we're going to flip them around and we're going to put the blonde one under and the dark one on top. So when the client wears her hair down, you can see the hair beautifully covered. So you don't see the blonde balayage one or ombre. The reason we don't like the two-tone balayage or ombre is that because you cannot get the right dark colors and blonde colors, and you get that line in between. With this method, you get a beautiful ombre and balayage, and it looks completely natural and gorgeous. So right now, what we're going to do, I'm going to do one piece on each side, and then we're going to move to the next section. So again, we're going to implement the same technique what we did before. As you can see, we want to have the hair holding with the clips. You've got to let the technology do the job for you. You don't want to be struggling and holding and all. So what you want to do, you want to let the clips do all the job for you. If you have one or two hair, you need to lift them up gently. That's what we do. Like a child really can hold that one piece of hair to expose that straight line. As you can see here, if we put this one here, we risking of going too close to the neck, to the line, the hairline. So the client, when she put her hair up, she might see the tape. So what we were going to do here, I'm going to show you how you can overlap. So this is how we overlap. We lift this one. See, I'm going to let the tape go gently underneath. So you see, we start parallel, we lower. With experience and time, you can almost brush the glue against the hair without having it stick on the actual hair. As you can see, very gently, I'm gonna put the tape facing down, apply a little bit of pressure, very gentle, as if you're touching your eyeball. Lift, and I scoop the hair again. I'm repeating myself here so you really get it. You see, very gently, I'm massaging the hair between my fingers. I'm gonna lift without pulling hard. I'm not pulling hard, I'm very relaxed. I'm gonna bring the comb from this side over the ears and I'm gonna remove that hair. As you can see, if I need to massage it again, I would, or if I need to press down to pick up a little bit more hair. Generally speaking, if your client's hair is really fine, I would really invite you to stay away from the roots. And if your client's hair is like, she's got Asian hair, Indian hair, she's Brazilian, or she's got keratin treatment, or really healthy hair, you might need to press a little bit harder. But if the hair is fine, you press very gentle in the first time to pick up the hair. As you can see, I'm resting on my client's head, putting it in the right position, and I'm gonna lower, and with experience, you'll be able to gain a lot more time. As you can see, for me now, bringing that down, it's almost feel like half an hour because I'm done so many of these. So now my finger's in the middle. The reason I only put my finger there, so if I need to do any adjustment, I still can. If I'm not happy with it, then I need to remove it. I'm gonna show you a bit later on how we remove it, but for now, we're gonna hold the client's head and massage again. And this is the second one done. As you can see, very easy and very simple to do it. Really nice and relaxed. There's no other service in the industry you could do and have fun with it, and in short period of time. As you can see here, we've exposed the roots, holding my hand on the scalp. I tilt my fingers until I'm parallel with the line. Now I make small contact and I lift. When you lift this, you should not see any changes to the scalp. The scalp should be intact. So I'm gonna massage that hair between my fingers and I'm gonna scoop whatever hair that is not connected. Again, if I feel that the tape doesn't have enough hair on it, I'll press a little bit more without touching the scalp. So I'm happy with that. And then Now we're going to put the darker color, and you can see how I'm rotating, playing around. You will get to that. Normally take you about 3 or 4 pieces to become really comfortable. As you can see, I position it nicely in there, and then I lower, and then I make contact again. So now we have done the first row of the hair, and look how beautiful that looks. Started to blend really nicely and cover. We've got that beautiful ombre happening, and then now we're gonna do our second section. So as you can see, we can go about 2 fingers over that line. And normally if I'm doing client, really challenging client, I've never done her hair before, and I think she got thick hair. Bob are hard to blend with extension. If someone have bob hair, you've got to be mindful that you might need 2 to 3 packets, maybe more. You tell your client that to do your hair today, we might need 2 to 3 packets, maybe more, 3 to 4 packets, maybe more. So you're going to work out how many your client wants rather than how many she needs. So if we're doing the hair, generally I would go, this is the highest I would go normally. So let's section the hair. Again, we take a very broad and general section. As you can see, I'm not making too much fuss. With the crocodile clips, I put the hair away. Now it's time to make my perfect section. And it's always important that the section are nice and straight. So we're working on 4 centimeters tape. So you want the section, so I'm worrying where I'm putting the tape now. I'm not going to worry about what I'm sectioning there, it's going to come later. As you can see now, we want to put the darker one on top. So we're applying the same technique what we learned earlier. So we start parallel to the scalp, lower, I'm happy with heat, make contact without letting go of the hair, because if I let go of that hair, I'm going to waste 5-10 seconds to come back and find it again. So this is a key moment where you keep holding on to this hair, you elevate, scoop the hair between your fingers, massage it through, and then with the comb coming from this angle in the middle, I'm going to remove the hair that it doesn't need to be there. As you can see, holding without pulling, no hair coming down. And now we're putting the lighter color. As you can see, we put the hand there. If you feel that the tape kind of anchoring upward and you cannot get it into the right position, it's just probably because you haven't cleaned that section properly. Or sometimes what you can do, have a look at my hands. You can practice this as well. I hold the tape like this, and my fingers here, look at how I bring the tape to get down. Just by rubbing my fingers together, the tape would face down so I can get it in the right position. So you see, I'm putting my hand on the client's head, and all I'm doing is rotating my hand a little, but by rubbing my fingers together, you see how I'm putting the tape in the right spot. All this special technique will help you achieve an amazing, fast and great result. As you can see, now I can lower, pin it in the middle, and then now I'm going to massage it together. It's very, very easy to do, very simple, but you must be able to follow all these great steps that I'm helping you with. With the darker color on top, it's creating that nice ombre underneath without the tape being visible or showing. So right now what we want to do, we want to put another one right next to it. So if we're building the hair, let me turn Stacey a little bit. So if we're building the hair and want to make it fuller, we can go right next to it, or you can have a little centimeter gap in between, but I'm going to go right next to it, make a gentle contact. If you feel that your client, you need to remove it. If you feel you're doing something wrong, please remove it and start fresh again. I see some people, they've got the fringe stuck in the tape, and that's when you cause damage to your client's hair. You have responsibility to make the hair look nice and natural and zero damage to your client. If for whatever reason I feel I'm not happy with this, how it's sitting, Look how easy. I want you to visualize the concept of a DVD cabinet. As you open the cabinet down, so the cabinet, there's two types of cabinets, one that opens sideways and one that opens down. So my thumb's gonna become the anchor. I'm gonna put them right under this tape and I'm gonna flip it down without hurting and then pull it right down. You see, our model didn't feel a thing and it's really minimal contact with the tape. As you can see, we build the hair in the brick formation, so you're gonna be able to monitor where you're putting them. So now I'm gonna continue all the way to the front. Again, I'm going about 2 fingers over the ears and I'm gonna clear 2 fingers from the front. So this is the zone where I can put them in. As I get to the front, I can go on the slight, small angle. You wanna let the clips do the work for you and let the technology do the work for you. So as we get to the front, holding, putting it down, making contact, lifting up, and I'm not causing the scalp. If your client get discomfort, or it's really important to keep an eye on what's happening with your client's scalp. If there's like red spot, some people have a dry scalp or they have dandruff but they don't realize that they have it. The tape could bring it on or make the scalp a little bit of irritation. It's important to point out to your client that she does have a little bit of red spot, a little bit of dandruff happening in winter or whatever. So if your client's scalp get a little bit irritated, you advise them to lower it down a little bit. So you remove it and you pull it down a little bit. All it means that they need to come back more often to retape, but it means that their scalp doesn't get any irritations. The tape lasts between really 4 to 10 weeks. It depends on your client how much they want to leave them in. So as you can see, we've added a lot of fullness, a lot of thickness into the hair, and we've given our lovely model a lot of color variation in here. As you can see, the different colors. So let's do the second side. As you can see, we want to continue that same line of work where we started. If you're doing your client and your client have really thick hair and you're not sure whether the 1 packet or 2 packet going to be enough, I highly recommend for you that you do the bottom, you do the top, you do the fronts, and whatever you have leftovers, you can come back and feel the back. So you can feel it and then you can make it look good. So if you're not sure or confident how many you need, but most of my clients, I've been doing their hair for many years and I know exactly how many packets they need or what they need to put in, so we know exactly where to place them. As you can see, we're exposing that part again, and then making contact, and then clean up the section, and we're going to put the lighter one under again. If you have really long nails, if you're a female or male and you have long nails, this is how we can hold one side and massage it that way, hold one side and then massage it the other way. This way you make a really good contact with the hair. So now we're going to turn to the side and we'll do another one at the front. I mean, ideally to have everything next to you on the trolley. My client, they like to pass the tape to me because they like to feel part of the action and then they're doing something. But it's up to you whether it's really easy to have an apprentice helping you or you want to put all the tape on the trolley. That's also easy. So as you can see, we're doing another one here. Exactly, we're applying the same technique, lifting, cleaning up, and applying another one. So if you want to do one at the front, if your client like to fill the gap around the front, so as you can see, we're doing the dark one on top, but what I like to do in here is I would like to do the blonde one on top, because then when the client put her hair up, then we could you could see it blend with her hair. And you could go closer or further from the front. I mean, it's more become like a personal, because some clients, they don't mind if you put them a bit closer so you can fill up some gaps around the front, and they don't mind that, and they don't care really much about putting their hair up, because they might be happy to sacrifice putting their hair up. So as you can see, we put the lighter one on top and create completely different look and feel. Look at this, how the color beautifully blending. And now we want to go for the fringe. You see how we did the bottom layer there? So now the top layer, this is the last layer I'm putting up here. As you can see, I'm going on the slightest angle down. So I'm going, when we're doing concave, we're going angle down. Now I'm going with the angle, the reverse angle. And the reason I'm doing that is, I don't know if you can answer that. I'm going on a slight angle because I like to clear the halo at the back. So this halo here, I don't want to get my extension right into it. I want it to clear it a little bit, and I want the hair to come forward. I'm going to share this with you now. I've seen hairdressers, when they put the tape, like let's visualize this as a tape, right? I've seen hairdressers, they put them like this. And this is really bad practice, because unless I'm doing the client and I know she's absolute princess, spend an hour to brush her hair, an hour to paint her nails, an hour to blow dry her hair, she's very gentle, then I would agree to put them like this. But I'm going to show you the difference. When you put them straight on a slight angle, look at how much pressure you can apply, and you see it's really strong and it's not going to damage your client's hair. When you put them on an angle like this, the whole weight of the extension, this hair here, you're going to hold the whole weight of it. And look at this, it can easily tear because there's no support. So you really want to put them on an angle, and you want to teach your client to brush their hair nice and gentle. So now we're going with the darker one on top. As you can see, we're creating that balayage or ombre effect. So massaging the hair with my finger down, put it in, and as you can see how we pick up all the hair, want to scoop it, massage it, remove whatever's not connected. The same technique over and over. And as you can see, we put this one under, pin it, and then massage it together.
Real nice, you know what I mean?
Our clients had enjoyed her hair for the last 2 months, and now it's time to resurface that hair again, and then to retape or to use a new one. 99% of our clients, they choose not to retape the hair because it costs $150 per packet to retape the hair, $189 for a new hair. So a lot of the time they choose not to use the same hair. It still feels nice and beautiful, but time is money, and your time also very valuable. So the client always, they have their hair done in summer, now it's winter, they want to go darker, they want to change the color. If they cut the hair, you cannot put the same hair back again in the client's hair. So often they just want to use a new hair because it's either they want more longer, they want different color, or they just don't want to sit down in a chair for an hour to retape, while it's only $39 different between using a new hair or using the same old hair. Retaping can be annoying, but I'm going to show you how you can do it efficiently and enjoy and love doing it. So as you can see, we have a little bit of the regrowth happening in here. So it's important to use a tail comb with the metal on the end. We've got the S1 tape remover, and this is alcohol based. It's normally people would use it on wounds and stuff, so it doesn't damage your hair or the client's hair or the scalp. So we wanna poke the tape a little bit to create a small gap so we can get that first solution into that gap. When you spray, you want to keep the nozzle very close to the action where you're spraying it. You don't want to spray the hair or the bottom of the tape. You want to spray right in. We don't want to use it like we spray in perfume, so you go right and direct. As you can see, I got right in, and now I'm going to use that tail comb to separate the tape a little bit. As you can see, Now with my fingers, I can open it up and then spray a little bit more. And you want to let the spray do the work for you. So as you can see now, I'm opening up the tape, remove the top one, and then we want to spray a little bit more, and then we want to remove the bottom one. So as you can see, it's nice and easy to remove them. If we're throwing them away, I highly recommend you stick them together and then you throw them on the floor. This way they don't get stuck on the bottom of your shoes and you're not leaving mess all over your salon. Now, one by one, we need to spray a little bit more and we need to remove the excess of the glue. You don't want to remove the whole head to come back and find them to clean them up. You want to remove them as you go along straight away. If you find your client have a little bit slight excess residue, you can do like a deep conditioner in between your shampoo just to remove them and brush them a little bit, and then you can do your clarifying shampoo afterwards. So as you can see, very simple and very easy and damage free to your client's hair.